Listen, we here. Besides that airplane off in the distance. You don't hear nothing, it's quiet. It's peaceful. So I know you read the title of the video. I'm moving back in with my mom, but let me go and make one thing clear. Tammy and I are fine, okay? Tammy and I and the kids, all three of them are gonna move back in with my mom and my dad back home. And the marriage is fine. I know that may have spooked a few people, but we're completely on the rock of Jesus Christ in our marriage. And second thing I want to get out of the way is no, I will not build a shop or warehouse or whatever for work out here. I've never been one to want my workplace in my backyard, or in this case it would be in my front yard. And besides, this land didn't even zone for commercial, so you can't build a place of business out here on it anyway. So I still have the issues with space at work, and we're trying to work through that the best we can. And talking about that, I made a video the other day redoing a Bermuda grass yard, or renovating a yard, making it Bermuda grass. And I just had a bad day. Okay, you have them every now and then, and I just so happened to be filming and caught it. And I know it looked like my attitude was poor. That's because my attitude was poor that day. I was sucking dust and I couldn't breathe, and it was just, I had a lot on my plate. Tripping over the sprayer in the warehouse, and it's just a lot of things going on at one time. It kind of built up, and I honestly, I let Satan in the door. That's, if I'm being truthful to myself, that's what happened. I let him have a stronghold on my attitude, and it showed in the video. And I owe you an apology, and I'm sorry for doing that, because that's not representative of the gospel. That's not representative of Christ. That's not representative of the creator of the cosmos. And I'm a child of God. I belong to him. And he tells me he's going to feed the birds in the air, the ravens, and why wouldn't he provide for me? So I know in his due time, when he is ready for me to have a bigger area for my workplace, for my business, he'll provide. And until then, in the name of Jesus, we'll be content, and we'll just make do with what we got. So again, I just wanted to get that off my chest, because I've had that on my mind ever since that video, because I was like, man, people, this guy preaches the gospel, and look at him pouting like a child on the camera. That's bothered me. That day bothered me, that I represented my king in such a poor way. So I apologize to you guys. So where am I at now? This is where I grew up. Now, I mean, I didn't actually grow up here. I grew up 20 miles from here, but I grew up in the woods on a farm. And man, have I missed it. I mean, I have missed it with a passion. We've been in the neighborhood for about 12 years now, maybe 13. You know, the neighborhood living has served its purpose. We got to meet a ton of new people. We have the best neighbors I could possibly ask for. The folks right across the street are just absolutely phenomenal. And of course, we're good friends with a lot of different people in the neighborhood. So we built relationships for sure, and I wouldn't trade nothing in the world for that. But, you know, about 2 years ago, I mentioned to Tammy, I said, you know what, babe, I think I'm ready to get back in the woods, ready to get back out and kind of be to myself. Well, not necessarily be to myself, but be in a more secluded area where we can have a little more peace and quiet and that kind of thing. And she was on board. And for about 2 years now, kind of under the radar, we've been looking for a small, you know, parcel of land. And I had in my mind, you know, somewhere between 10 to 30 acres, roughly, give or take a few. And we went and looked at several pieces of land in the past few years, and nothing really, you know, hit us in the face and said, hey, this is it. About a month or so ago, a property come open and kind of out to itself, secluded, kind of, sort of. And it was a old farmhouse that had been 100% renovated. Gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. Had been updated with all the modern looking stuff in it, and had a pond down in the bottom of a field. Set on 12 acres, and had a barn down there. You know, barn I could convert to a shop for my cars and cleaning my truck and stuff like that. And had several sheds on the property, and we were in love with it. We really liked it. Tammy and I thought that was just the greatest, you know, piece of land, and it was expensive. I mean, it was a whole lot of money, and you know, we were kind of not really talking to each other about it, kind of, sort of. And I think in her mind, she was like, "Gosh, this is really expensive." And in my mind, I was definitely like, whew, that's a lot of money for some land and a home. Wow. But, you know, the cool thing about it was move in, start living your life ready. That was the condition of everything. So you wouldn't have to do anything except, you know, unpack the trailer and start living life. And it was funny. The week we were going to make an offer, that Monday, I got an email from my agent, a buddy of mine from church, that's been helping us look for land, and this place come up. This place come up Monday morning, and I sent him a text and I said, "What about this place? This looks really good." I'm actually 7 minutes from my current house right now, and he said, "Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, you need to check it out. I think this might be a winner." And I said, "All right, well, can we go look at it tomorrow?" And he texted me back, said, "No, we're going to look at it now." Because when land pops up around here, especially this kind of land, it's gone. This is virgin land, never been messed with other than a shop over there. The people before us were going to build, so they got power already run out here. And the guy tinkered a little bit, so he got a shop, but pretty much virgin land. And when that pops up in our area, man, it's gone just like that. So we met him out here that day, and we were like, this is it. Just walking around looking and talking about, wow, well, the house would go good right there. Wow, man, just look at this field, how much grass I could plant out here. And then, oh man, look back here in the corner at this little secluded field back in the woods, and me and Adam would walk around, and there's a creek way back on the backside of the property. This is 16 acres, by the way. There's a creek back on the backside of the property that it just barely gets on us, but there's a huge ravine, a gully, and you could easily dam it up and make a pond right here in the backyard. And by the way, I am sitting in my recliner right now. I think As long as we don't change our mind, I think this is where the house is going to sit, right here. And I think I'm sitting in the living room looking out a bay window or something like that to the front yard. Of course, I'm sure we'll change our mind 1,800 times, but you know how that goes. So we were walking around right here, and I was like, you know what, Adam, what's the asking price? And he told me it was about 4 times less than the one we were going to make an offer on. And I said, you know what, I think this is it. We stood right over there in the woods, me and Tammy and Adam, and we prayed. And you know, we just asked God that, Lord, if it's your will that we be here, make it happen. It's in your hands. We're going to trust you with it. And we actually made an offer a little bit more than the listing price, right over here in the woods. And Adam went and done his thing, whatever he does. And it was crazy, because from 8 o'clock that morning to 8 o'clock that night, I think there were 6, 8, 9 people that looked at it in one day. And I think they had like 4 or 5 different people put offers in. So, you know, a little bit of a nail biter. You know, it's like texting Adam later that day, have you heard anything? What's the deal? What's up, man? And he finally texted us back. It was either later that night or early the next morning. I can't remember. Well, maybe it was about noontime the next morning. I can't remember exactly. But he texted me back and said, congratulations. And man, Tammy and I were just as excited as we could possibly be, because I'm telling you, as long as, you know, granted nothing weird happens in life, this is probably where we'll lay down at. Meaning, this is probably where we'll live out the rest of our life. And, you know, I'll probably be in this house when I die, and my wife as well. So we're just ecstatic about it. It's absolutely beautiful out here, and it's so quiet, and it's kind of rolly type landscape. It's in no way flat whatsoever, which I think that adds a lot of character to a property, is to have some, you know, nice hills and hollows and stuff like that in it. So we're excited. We're so thankful that the Lord's provided this. Obviously, we're going to do our best that we can to be good stewards of the land and to take care of it and make it look really, really good. I'm not going to take the time to go into detail on this video, but I'll come back out here when I get a minute, and we'll look at different areas specifically, and I'll give you my ideas on what's going to happen, because this is going to be a big front yard. I mean, a big front yard, almost 5 acres worth of turf. Now, you know, I think big, okay? And sometimes my mind and my pocketbook don't line up a lot of the times. So 5 acres of highly managed turf may be a stretch, okay? So don't hold me to that. But if I had my way, I'd have 5 acres of some really nice turf out here in that humongous field out front. So again, you know, this doesn't solve my issues with space at work, but I got a stern reminder from the Lord that, you know, His timing is perfect. His will's perfect. Mine's not. You know, sometimes I get a little impatient. I'm like, let's go, God, come on. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you. I'm living a life to honor and glorify you. And why aren't you making this happen? Let's go. And sometimes I get a little impatient, and I got a real stern reminder of that. You know, lean not into your own understanding, and all your ways acknowledge Him, for He will direct your path. And I read the comments in that video, and I do appreciate all the encouragement, the prayer, and being lifted up by brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm absolutely just humbled by that, and I thank you very much. But we'll get the workplace figured out. We'll get that part figured out. And like I said, when God's ready, He'll open that door up for us, and everything will work out just fine. And real quick, the plans are we're going to try to move on this pretty quickly. Today is June. I think it's middle of June, I believe. June 17th today, and we're going to attempt to be moved in with my mom and dad by the end of August. That's what we're going to attempt. We've actually already started packing up things at our current house already, and that's why I've been over here cleaning out the barn so that we have somewhere to store all that stuff. So every afternoon I get off work, I'm gonna bring the enclosed trailer home, and we're gonna start bringing stuff over and putting it in here. And as soon as we get the house, get everything out, then we'll put it on the market. That's wow. We're gonna put our house on the market. I'll definitely do a last mow. And of course, I'll still be filming stuff out there in the meanwhile, but man, there's a lot of good memories in that house. A lot of really, really strong memories in that house. And am I gonna miss the grass? Of course I'm gonna miss the grass, but grass is grass. I can come over here and plant it. It doesn't matter. Grass is under your feet. You've heard me say that. You walk on it. It's just grass. I can plant a field. I can plant all this over here in grass. I can plant all this out here in grass. That's not the part that I'm really gonna miss. It's the memories in that home. All three of my kids were saved in that home, and that means something. And that's the part that I'm gonna miss about it, is having those memories filling that house. So it'll be a little bittersweet. I'm gonna probably boo-hoo a little bit when we leave. And then again, I'll be as excited as I can be to get over and start on the new one. So we'll keep doing things as normal until all that happens. And, again, that's our game plan. And so a lot of times our game plan don't really work out like you want it to. So we'll have to see how that goes. But our plans are to be out of the current house, get it listed for sale right in the middle of seeding season, which is a busy time of the year for us. And then immediately, right away, go on and break ground and start working on this house. And even before that, I'm actually going to contract out a guy who does land clearing, and he's going to clear out all these trees in this field. All that's just overgrown trees. It just hadn't been maintained. A lot of saplings and stuff like that. So he's going to clear out that whole field for me. And then the other thing I want to do is redo the power line to the building, to the barn. Am I going to call it a building or a barn? We're kind of on a farm, so let's call it a barn. I'm going to redo the wire and bury it deeper to the barn and put some lights in there and power it up so that we can see what we're doing if we're over at night. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and attempt to dig my well and go and have that part done. A good buddy of mine's a witcher. Walk around with that little stick thingamajiggy and he can find water. So we're going to see how good that is. And hopefully he finds it over there right beside the barn, because that's where I want to put the well. So we'll see how all that goes. And I'll be doing all that in the meantime. Say, I've enjoyed this, being able to sit down on this tree right here and tell you about this new piece of property that Tammy and I have been very fortunate and very blessed to get our hands on. It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful out here. And these hardwoods out here, it's kind of opened and airy through the woods. It's got a little touch of road noise out there, but it's a country road, so it's not a heavily used road. But man, this is just a wonderful place, and I just pray that the Lord gives me the body and the strength and the mind to take care of it and maintain it in a way that will please and honor Him. That's my goal. So as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.